Alrighty, welcome, Forgotten Legends Sound again. Today we were doing the P's, so let's get going.
Knocking them out.
Yeah, here's the fundamental elements of Southtown POD.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. They're just hitting hard and they're just rocking out and boom, boom.
Here comes
the boom. And I'm not gonna lie to anybody in this video. I will never lie to you.
No.
I think this album's a fudging masterpiece. I love that freaking album.
I do like
it's catchy as crap. I grew up with it. It's fudging.
Dude,
I love that album. But what's funny is that album and this album I don't really like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? Why? The album was so good. Why? I don't get it. So what are you gonna do?
Kind of
So
beauty
beauty
band.
Yeah. Then we got Pagan's Mind, Celestial Entrance. Ooh.
I was kind of disappointed with Pagan's Mind.
Yeah.
You know, like I like them, but
I don't love them.
I just want something more from them. You know.
Yeah. There's Enigmatic Calling. Pagan's Mind is a band where I do think they're good and they're definitely talented.
Yeah.
But there's something about their songwriting that doesn't gel with me a whole lot. You know?
Yeah.
It's like
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe I'll figure it out one day.
Yeah. And then we got Pagan's Mind. Here's Heavenly Ecstasy.
Is it
that was their last album.
worth figuring out though? Or
I don't know, man.
They're still
just
good.
not-
They're still good. But, But I don't know. I would recommend other progressive metal bands before I
that.
recommend them.
Right,
You know?
yeah.
But if somebody liked the lyrics about more spacey stuff or like, I don't know, Greek mythology stuff.
Transcendental, whatever.
Yeah, like kind of whatever. Like, I don't know. I remember playing one song for you in the car, and I think you were digging it, but this was like, I don't know, a year ago or something, so I don't know.
I feel like for me, if I want to get into
Entropia.
Pagan's Mind, I need to start from a different point, because I always start with like that second album and stuff.
Yeah.
Thinking that, I'll start with this and all. But maybe I just need to start with something newer, something a little different, just to kind of, mix it up a bit.
Yeah. So Entropia, really interesting prog metal album, to be honest.
Yeah, I like it.
Honestly, Pain and Salvation is just an interesting band. Like, they're not easily pigeonholed. They do stretch themselves. They do interesting stuff. Here's the Japanese ones, so that's why I'm opening up these ones because it looks kind of cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
And then here's Perfect Element.
That is one of my favorite prog metal albums.
Yeah.
Really good.
That one's like my second favorite from them. I like the next one coming out. Here's the Japanese version of it. So we got bonus songs and stuff.
Yeah.
And then here's Remedy Lane. This one's my favorite album. Pain of Salvation is one of those prog metal bands where they can really hit you in the feels, you know?
Yeah.
Like, along with Riverside or like...
Well, dude, even just the
Maximus
subject matter, like that last album, like...
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, like the subject matter is usually kind of like heavy stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
That's like the Japanese version, so it's got Thorn Clown on there. Kind of cool.
And in case any of you guys are wondering, this is my favorite drummer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Johan Langell.
Huh.
He's my favorite drummer of all time.
Dang.
So,
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think I even knew that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great drummer. I like him.
Yeah, here's like a live album from them. And then here's Pain of Salvation Scarsick. I remember when this album came out, I was like, what? It was some things I really liked and other things I absolutely hated.
What'd they do?
Oh gosh, they have a disco song on there. They've got freaking like...
They're just like, fudge it, dude. Let's throw everything at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah, there was just...
There's like
some of the lyrics are really
rap-ish
on the...
song.
Yeah, and it's not like... Yeah, they're just... The lyrics were just so on the nose. Like, there's a whole song about, like, crapping on America, and we're just like, I don't know, from going from something that was, like, this emotional, whatever kind of, like, prog metal, to suddenly, like, a punk album lyrics, or, like, a rap album lyrics, it was a little jarring at first. But then I started liking it. Then I was like, oh, this album's pretty cool.
It is supposed to be, like, the part 2 of The Perfect Element.
Yeah.
But I never really understood, like, from the point of view, from, like, person laying on the ground and like it just I don't know, it kind of lost me a little bit.
Yeah, because even saying that's part 2 of Perfect Element 1, Element 1 was so good, and this is such a far cry in sound from that, that you're kind of like, really, is it really part 2? Isn't this like a side project where where you guys just do all your
and it's like hardly proggy at all. Like there's not a lot of prog in it, and so it's just a little bit more straightforward songwriting,
it reminds me of something like Mr. Bungle, maybe less weird, not as weird as Mr. Bungle, but just doing lots of different styles and stuff in one album. But to be fair though, that Kingdom of Lost song on there, that song is fucking amazing.
I do like Kingdom of Lost.
There's things on Scarsick that are really freaking good, so I don't want to write off the album. Like, basically the first 6 tracks I pretty much enjoy, and then it gets kind of boring at the end, you know.
Right.
But those first 6 songs, like half of them, it took time to like enjoy them, you know, because I was like, what are they doing? Here's Road Salt 2.
And I think most of the fans also kind of agree. Yeah. Like it's a little bumpy.
Yeah, Passing Light of Day. You're the one that got into that album, and
I enjoyed this album. I thought it was a pretty good newer album.
Yeah, here's their new album, Panther. That song Wait is freaking beautiful, but the rest of the album was kind of underwhelming. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know, but you know. Here's Paul Bear. I don't know much about this one, but Chad's
dude. I was really getting into these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, so I haven't listened to that one yet.
And that was my first introduction to him, so I love that album. Some of the other ones I need to listen to more, but that album's like just awesome for me.
Yeah.
Are they okay, 2020. How new are they? Like how many albums do they have?
2012 was the first.
What do they have, like 4 to 5 albums?
Yeah, I think they have like album every like 2 years.
I said I liked them. I'm not a huge fan, all right? I said I liked them.
I know, like our guard is up. Every single person that's watching us is like, you said you were a fan.
I know. I'm not a poser.
Yeah, here's Panthymonium. Their first. This is Dawn of Dreams. Experimental kind of death metal stuff. Dan Swano. You guys know what it is. Here's the Chaos album from Panthymonium as well. I think these ones are a little bit harder to find, not as easy. What is this one? The Dream something? I can't remember this EP. It's called, Dream 2. A little EP from Panthymonium. There was a time where I was just kind of like getting into a lot of Dan Swano affiliated stuff, you know, and this was just one of them. And then here's their last album, Panthymonium. Here's Chaos and Confusion, and they spell it all like, you know, chaos and confusion, like they're all you know, all goofy and whatnot. And when they made these albums, like they didn't say who they were. No one knew who they were. They were kind of like this like mystery band and whatnot. And then, you know, later on, eventually people found out who they really were. So here's Pantera. Here's Cowboys from Hell. Yeah, I was hard on groove metal, but, you know, I'm coming around.
You guys are so hard on Pantera. I was afraid to tell you I liked them back in the
day. Yeah. Now I'm like, you know, they're pretty good. I think they are pretty good. Here's Far Beyond Driven. I still need to listen to them more. Like, I need to dive deeper in them. But I think they're pretty good, you know?
Yeah.
Great Southern Trend.
I don't know, dude. I think, even this one, this is probably like my favorite Pantera album.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never even listened to that one. I remember you playing songs from it when we were driving in the car, like in California, but I've never gone through it on my own. Yeah, one of these days. Here's Pantomime, Shade of Fate. One of Kevin's adventures.
I picked this one up on a whim. It's got some interesting stuff in it. You know, I don't love it. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. But if you're, want to try something a little, it's kind of prog metal, but it's a little spacey, but only a light little bit. I don't know.
Yeah,
I probably didn't do it justice.
Check it out if you want.
Yeah, check it out if you want. Moving on.
Paradise Lost Icon. Here's Paradise Lost Draconian Times. And then here's Paradise Lost with 1 Second. I'm not a huge Paradise Lost fan, but I like them.
Gothic,
you know. Huh? Yeah, no, I don't really have anything that's more their Death Doom stuff. Here's Passenger. This was like a side project of Anders Frieden. You know, I remember that first song was pretty catchy, but man, I don't remember much from that album.
Then you got this like a long time ago,
in high school, and then I sold it, and then I picked it up again like 3 years ago or something. Yeah,
gotcha.
But yeah, here's I think it's Steinecke. Here's Passage d'Hiver, the first album. French name means like, I don't know, frozen winter
black metal.
Winterscape means black. I know. every time we're like saying something we always say that it just means black metal. Yeah. Here's Shadow Gang. These are kind of cool. I think the dude, this is like one of those one-man bands, lo-fi black metal stuff, and I think he creates them by himself, you know? So they're really kind of interesting. Yeah. So anyways, just that you could kind of see it as well. Like, they're all of them have this kind of shape or whatever, and I think he makes them by himself or whatever. Here's what is it, Das something, Die Festoon. Haven't heard that one. And all of these are practically like Metal Archives has them all listed as like demos and stuff, but they're like albums. But I don't know, you know. Here's Kirker. Sounds like a dungeon, all right. A little dungeon picture. Here's Passage d'Hiver. Their self-titled album. This was the first one I ever heard by them.
Are these things rare or not really?
I don't think they're rare, but I don't think they're like easy to find either.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's Crystal and Issa. Yeah, Crystal and Issa. This one was the one that kind of turned me on to them. I had heard that self-titled one years ago, and I was kind of like, and then I heard this one, and then I was kind of like, okay, these guys are like, or this guy's kind of cool, you know. And then here's, was it Crystal Winter Cult? Here's Winter Cult. And then this one is, I think this one actually is really rare. This is like a dual press. There's Lunar Aurora, so it's like a split, you know. Half of this, like one disc is Lunar Aurora. I should probably let people try to see this. So, you know, Lunar Aurora on one side, and then Paysage d'Hiver on the other side. This was released in 2004, but then it was like reissued in 2020. So this is like the 2020 reissue of it. And I think that one is a little bit harder to find. I couldn't really find any on like Discogs or anything like that. So anyways, and then here's Paysage d'Hiver with Nacht, which I think means night or black metal. And then this one, what is this one? Eidsemkeit. Don't know what that means.
Black metal.
Black metal. Here's Das Tor. Das Tor. Haven't heard this one either. But you know, kind of cool.
When did you get into these guys? Or this?
Really recently, yeah, within the year. Okay. Like a year ago. Here's Imwald. So yeah, a lot of these I haven't heard, and this is like a 2-disc album, and a lot of these, like, I got all of them from one guy, and they come in like a little black little envelope thing. I put that over there because I was just like, you know, don't want to keep, you know.
Right.
But yeah, I got them all from some guy, and I was just like, cool, you know, like this kind of. Anyways, here's Im Traum. This is like an EP. And then here's the Schnee compilation. I don't know why I like saying that. Schnee. The Shmoo. And I think Schnee is like snow or something, you know, but, you know, kind of cool. So it's got like all these Schnee part 1 through 4 or whatever. And then here's, was it Geister? Yeah. Here's Geister, the last album from them. So a lot of stuff there, and a lot of it I need to dig into more.
Yeah.
But it's funny because that kind of music is the kind of black metal that in high school I would have been like, it's just a noise, man. It's just a bunch of noise, you know. But anyways, here's John Petrucci, Suspended Animation. This is kind of a cool album. I was told about this album from one of my friends. Like, I had known about it. I had known about him from Dream Theater and stuff, but I never really checked out his solo stuff. And then one of my friends was like, dude, no, you got it. It's really good. So then I listened to it. I was like, yeah, it is pretty good, you know? So, and then here's his new album. Came out a couple years ago, Terminal Velocity. And then we got Poison.
Oh, shoot.
Unskinny Bop. So, you know, green case, and it's like, you know, uranium, and it's just like Poison, like, gosh dang. And then, so here's a controversial pick. Porcupine Tree. The next, sorry, Chad, I'll hand it to you soon. The next, like, I don't know, 10 whatever albums are not metal at all. None of them are. So why do we add it? Yes. Let me tell you. The last, like, 3 or 4 albums, I feel like have, like, enough metal elements to be like metal albums, you know, like
if you put Poison in, Porcupine Tree's fine.
Yeah, so like In Absentia On feels more like metal albums to me, you know. But since we're not, kind of like Anathema, it's not like we only did the doom metal albums, then we cut it off. We showed the rest of Anathema. When we show Over, we're not only going to show 3 albums and then be like, oh, here's a bunch of electronic stuff that we're not, you know. So plus these are OGs, and these look pretty cool. You know, Porcupine Tree, On the Sunday Alive. And here's the reissue of it as well. I think these early reissues for Porcupine Tree have real drums because the original ones, the OG ones, have programmed. Yeah, it's all programmed drums. So I think either Chris Matland or Gavin Harrison did drums on one of them. I don't know. I can't remember who did it for maybe it was all Gavin Harrison doing here's Voyage 34 EP.
All the reissue.
Yeah, all the drumming for those reissues. So kind of cool, you know. It's like, you know, fun and whimsical, and and then we've got Porcupine Tree. Here's Up the Downstair. This is like the OG version of it. And, you know, some of the artwork and stuff is different, you know, and I don't know, I think it looks pretty cool. Porcupine Tree is a band that I like enough that I wanted to get, like, the OG stuff and everything. And here's Up the Downstair, the reissue of it with the real drums instead of the electronic ones. And then we've got Staircase Infinities from Porcupine Tree, little EP. This one, I really like the Joke's on You. That was an early Porcupine Tree song I ever heard, like back in high school. I was kind of like, dude, Joke's on You is freaking awesome, you know? Yeah. So, kind of cool.
I like, I think it was on, I can't remember which one, but Stars Die.
Yeah.
Is really
that
good.
One's coming up. Yeah, I like that one too.
Okay.
And Nine Cats. Like, there's these, like, I mean, the early albums, I don't like them as much as the later albums, but they do have some freaking gem songs that are like, dude, these are freaking awesome.
Yeah, like most of these, I'm like, I haven't even heard of them.
Yeah. Here's Yellow Hedgerow Dreamscape. This is like more of a compilation thing. So it has some tracks that I think are from kind of like On the Sunday of Life or like before that time, just kind of compiled together. And then here's the Moonloop EP. So this one has The Stars Die. So kind of cool. And then here's the OG this is the Sky Move Sideways. This is honestly probably one of my least favorite 90s Porcupine Tree albums. Yeah. All the other 90s stuff I actually like a little bit more. But I don't know. Seems like a lot of people really like this album, and I don't really understand why. I mean, it's got long freaking songs, and maybe that's why I struggled through it. So here's Up the Down, or not Up the Down, the Sky Move Sideways, the reissue one for it.
Yeah, jeez. 34, 37.
Yeah.
I do like these like booklet.
Yeah, sturdy and
sturdy.
Yeah. Here's Porcupine Tree with Signify. Great album. I like Signify. And this is another one. This is like a promo copy or something. I should have put this at the end because we were putting all our promos at the end, but whoops.
That's whatevs.
It's whatevs. So here's Porcupine Tree, Signify, the reissue for it. And that one has like the Significance like EP thing as a bonus. I think it does. Yeah, on disc 2, it's the Insignificance demos and stuff. So anyways, kind of cool. A little bonus stuff. Here's Metanoia. Yeah, honestly, I haven't even listened to that one, so I'm not really sure if that one's good or not. Here's A Stupid Dream. This is, I think, where for me, like where Porcupine Tree really freaking started making up like amazing stuff. Like I think this album's a masterpiece. I like Stupid Dream a lot. Here's Stupid Dream, a reissue of it as well, and then here's Leipold Sun. I think this is at the time where they're on Snapper or something, or maybe K-Scope, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, really, really good stuff. Like, if you like prog rock, space rock, psychedelic rock, or even heavy metal, like, yeah, Porcupine Tree kind of covers a lot of those kind of grounds.
Just try and get into them before the earth is recycled.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They got that little guy.
They did play that. They did play that song live. That was the only song they did from Leipold Sun live. Yeah. I was kind of like, that's like one of the weaker songs, but whatever, you know.
I was like,
come on, man.
Track 6.
Do like She's Moved On, or do like some other songs, but that's okay. Yeah. The rest of the songs were freaking amazing. So here's Voyage 34. This is like a compilation, like kind of like they added more to it or whatever. Here's Recordings. This has like kind of like rare songs and stuff on it. This is actually a pretty cool album. Like some of their rarer songs are actually like pretty good. So anyways, and here's In Absentia, really awesome album. One of the earliest exposures to Porcupine Tree for me as well. Like I think Blackest Eyes might have been one of the earliest songs I ever heard by them, you know. Here's Porcupine Tree with Lazarus. This one has So-Called Friend as well as Half-Light. Both of them really good songs that were from the Deadwing sessions. So yeah, really dope. Or at least I think they're from the Deadwing sessions. There might be some freaking Porcupine Tree. Actually, those are recorded during In Absentia. You know, I don't know, but anyways. So here's Deadwing. Awesome freaking album. Masterpiece. Just really freaking good. Fear of a Blank Planet. Same thing. Awesome album. Freaking masterpiece. Yep, and this was that. So I got into Porcupine Tree around 2007, 2008 when this album was new. And then I worked my way backwards. And man, this album, like blasting this and Radiohead constantly around that time frame, like, man, I was... I was hooked.
You're playing In Rainbows and Fear of the Blank Planet a lot around that time.
Yeah. Here's No Recurring. This is like an EP. And then we got Porcupine Tree with The Incident. So that was their last album when they broke up. And then, oh man, make sure we don't forget this one. So this is the new album. This is Closure Continuation. I paid... so I have a friend that lives in Denmark, and I paid extra because they're like, yeah, you could buy tickets before they're on sale if you pre-order the album or whatever. Yeah. So I was kind of like, okay, I'm so excited that they're back together. I'm just going to get these tickets so that me and Jackson could go see them, and like, you know, it'll be really fun. So now about this like box set thing, like, dude, like look at all these like pictures. Like It's not like it.
What are they doing?
It's like there's. I mean, I think like some lyrics and stuff, but it's just kind of like.
Dude, Chad, it's art.
This is like supposed
I don't get it. I don't.
This is like this is supposed to be like those art books that you stick on like a coffee table and whatnot. Yeah. And I get it. Like I get that it's all artsy. Maybe this will help them see kind of what's inside and stuff.
Just not a fan.
But I'm not really a fan. I felt like. I don't want to say I felt like a little bit ripped off, but like I felt like a tiny bit ripped off. But I don't feel ripped off because we were able to see the show, and that was the real reason why I wanted it.
Plus, I mean, you got these big old white squares in the middle.
Like, I know. Every picture has a giant white square in the middle. So what are you gonna do? And then it does have like the 3-disc, or the second disc is like the bonus songs or whatever. So man, this is so huge. We're all like, yeah, it's just freaking hard to So I do like this album. I think it's pretty awesome.
This is still pretty cool just to have this.
Yeah, like it's still cool. It's not like I look at it and I feel like disappointed. I feel a tiny bit ripped off, but I feel fulfilled mostly. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I feel like it could have been more. Like,
you're like, dude, this could have been way better.
It could have been way better, could have been way more, and instead of like this artsy kind of thing that they wanted to do. Yeah. And I understand if they want to do it, that's cool, that's fine and everything. But it's almost like, what are you going to do?
Did you have a ripping good time?
Yeah, no, that show was fudging awesome. Here's Power Quest. Here's Wings of Forever. Really cool.
I like their first 2 albums,
Yeah, that's the Japanese version, and this is a version with like a DVD. I don't think I've ever gone through these DVDs, though.
Oh, yeah?
Like making of the album and stuff. Like, we should check that out sometime. Here's Netherworld from Power Quest, the Japanese version, so bonus tracks and stuff. And the version with the DVD or whatever. So kind of cool. And then we got Magic Never Dies, Power Quest. So pretty cool. If you like power metal kind of stuff, like, they're pretty cool. Here's Praying Mantis, Time Tells No Lies. So I seriously only bought this for one song. I was just like, dude, that song is freaking sick. And it was the 30 Pieces of Silver. It was like a bonus track on this album, you know? So I do need to listen to that more, but I like that song. I think that song's pretty dope. But
this is more of like a new wave of British heavy metal, right?
Yeah, old school kind of stuff. Yeah. I think that album came out in the late 80s or something. But I'm not like, I don't know a ton about Praying Mantis. I just thought that song was cool, and I was I'm picking it up.
There's an 81, and then this thing says 96.
Yeah, so it would have been, maybe it is 81 then, and maybe it's a lot earlier than I thought. Here's Red Hot and Heavy from Pretty Maids. And then here's Future World with Pretty Maids again.
People really like that Future World.
It is pretty good. I still need to listen to it more, though.
Yeah, me too.
Dude, $1.99. Are you kidding me? Like, come on, man. Yeah. Primal Fear, Nuclear Fire.
I miss record stores so much.
I do too, man.
I wish we had one here.
Yeah, Primal Fear,
It's so much easier to build up your collection and
and you
just
find
going
cool
there and finding cool stuff. And
and you don't have to pay shipping on anything. You know, like that.
Everything's right there.
It's right there. Here's Devil's Ground, Primal Fear. And this is probably my favorite. This is Seven Seals. This is the one that I think me and Kevin first heard. And I don't know, that one's pretty cool. Ralph Sheepers is a pretty cool vocalist. Pretty dope. Here's Primordial.
I did see Primal Fear live too, and that was kind of cool, but
this has like M. Rama and was it Journey's End? Yeah. This is like their first 2 albums kind of like together or whatever. So, and then here's the second album, Spirit, the Earth Aflame. So good old pagan metal, folk metal kind of stuff. And then we got black metal too. Storm Before Calm, Primordial. And I think this album and the next album were the 2 that first introduced me, because I bought both of them at Sound Exchange in Florida at the same exact time in high school. So here's The Gathering Wilderness. And dude, I like this artwork. There's something so fudging ominous about these birds flying in the sky.
Just like that
dark background, like a storm's coming. Like there's, dude.
Yeah, we see what you
that
did.
Artwork is. There's something about the artwork I freaking love. It's freaking dope. But I like this album a little more than that one. But these 2 are still gonna always be like my favorite. Here's To the Nameless Dead. Awesome album. And freaking Empire Falls for like a kick tail. Freaking right from the get-go, like just jump into an album, like that song fudging destroys, you know. That song, yeah, dude, that song freaking destroys, man. Here's Redemption at the Puritan's Hand. Oh, death! It's kind of cool. Here's Where Greater Men Have Fallen from Primordial. And here's their last album. This is Exile Amongst the Ruins. That one I haven't really heard that much. I heard like the singles when it came out and I picked it up, but I just haven't got around to it. And it's been 5 years. I'm sorry.
Dude,
I'm sorry. I mean, what do you want from me?
Yeah.
Here's Primus with Frizzle Fry. Good old Primus. You all know this.
The 90s.
Niles, funk metal, wild bass stuff. Here's Sailing the Seas of Cheese. Pretty cool.
I really like Tommy the Cat.
Tommy the Cat.
That's such a great song.
Yeah, I agree.
Freaking awesome.
Here's Pork Soda. And then we got Pyramids with Melancholy Beast. And then we got Pyramids, Legend of the Bone Carver. These are albums that Kevin got more into. I haven't really listened to them, so they're one of those bands where I'm like, oh, Kevin, really Pyramids? And then I'll play something, I'll be like, yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, Lance King, I think he owns Nightmare Records, from what I understand. Yeah, and they're always putting these on the CDs, like, please help save the metal scene. Play it for a friend. Don't burn it for them. It's kind of funny. But yeah. Sorry.
So that's it. That's it for the P's. Now we're doing Chad's P's.
All right, here's mine. And yeah, POD. I'm a new metal kid, so of course I'm gonna like POD.
Yeah.
Satellite, awesome. Pain of Salvation. Thank you, Ian and Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
Pain of Salvation, The Perfect Element. Then Pain of Salvation. What do we got here?
B.
Oh yeah, it's just
B. Just B.
Yeah, just B.
Dang, you guys hooked up with a bunch of these.
Yeah. Just a lot of duplicates.
A lot of duplicates, yeah. I like B. A lot of people are kind of conflicted on B, but I like B.
Yeah, I think B is pretty dang good.
And it is a band I like. I need to listen to them more, just like a bunch of other bands.
Yeah.
And the dude Paul Bear, Forgotten Days.
That awesome. Guitar melody. Is that track 1 that has that guitar melody that you kept playing over and over again?
Oh, that's on that's on like the Heartless something.
Oh, is that a different album?
Yeah, it's a different album.
For some reason I thought that was from that one.
I could not stop listening to that.
Yeah. I keep hearing it every time throughout the house. I hear that guitar melody. That was cool.
And then Porcupine Tree and Absentia. Awesome. Thank you guys. Porcupine Tree, Deadwing, and Fear of a Blank Planet. Dude, so freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And sick. Power Trip. Yeah, dude. Nightmare Logic.
They were pretty good. I remember you were playing them when we were like playing that Switch or whatever. Yeah. Like you were like blasting them. I was like, oh, pretty good.
Yeah, and then I remember we were in Utah at that comic shop and the dude was like blasting it. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was
I wouldn't have known him then, but
I was like, Power Trip. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay.
And then, oh, dude, Primordial. Storm Before the Calm. Yeah, I'm building my collection back up, but thanks to these guys, I got a few, and that's the P's. We're Forgotten Losers of Sound.
We do this.
We do this. We do things.
Which letter are we doing next?
Q.
Oh, Queensryche. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
The Queensryche letter.